This is the Ninja Crispi, a portable air fryer that you guys have been asking me to look at for quite a while, so here we are. And I know what you're thinking, portable air fryer, do you have it on your back like some sort of air fryer Ghostbuster? No, but that would actually be kind of cool. Do you have a USB cable so you can plug it in on the go? No. The power of a full-sized air fryer now in a portable cooking system, portable design, then in small print, cook anywhere, you can plug in. So of course, if you're at a campsite, there's normally opportunities to plug in, but if you're in a random field with a cow, trust me, I've looked, a little bit more unlikely. But let's give it some slack. It does say to take on the go. They've got an image here of someone putting it in their bag and then actually reheating it at work with this big old power pod. This is the Crispi power pod where all the heat comes from. And then you've got all these other bits inside. So let's see if we've got those in there. All right, here we go. Is that it? Oh wow, didn't really look at that properly. You could, I mean, that's quite a lot to take to work. It looks a little bit like a spaceship, doesn't it? So here is the power pod, and it is actually quite weighty. I don't know if I really do want to carry that around in my bag. The heating element is here, but these feet, so once you finish using it, you can put it down safely, and that's designed to lift it off the ground so it doesn't burn a hole in your worktop. So that's pretty good. You've got these containers here, 3.8 litres or 1.4, and they've both got these easy carry handles on that are fairly like fixed on there, so it makes it easy to transport. I guess where they're going for the portable angle there. Sorry, Ghostbusters fans. Like I say, just like any other air fryer, you've got standard crisper trays, like the vented shelves for it to sit in for the airflow, so that's good. And we've got a recipe book, and to be fair to it, we'll do the recipes it suggests from there using the presets, and I'll come on to that, I'm concerned. Obviously, this fits on there snug, but if you want to use the bigger one, you have an adapter where that sits on top to use it. We'll do both. Oh my gosh. And then also we've got these dishwasher safe lids. So once you've cooked in it, you can actually just put that on there, store it, and well, take it to work like a person in their bag, or plonk it in your fridge. Yeah, so the plan would be, say we've cooked something in this, let it cool to room temperature, of course, before putting it in the fridge or taking it to work and reheating it if you take the crisper pod with you. I'll need that again in a minute. I'm gonna put that just next to some random pizza, which we will see later, but let's just quickly see what other people think before we can see for ourselves. One thing I like about Ninja, when I've done previous Ninja videos as well, their reviews on their website, they do leave some of the bad ones in, although some of you guys have told me, yeah, they tend to delete them after a while. Paula from Worthing, who is aged 35 to 44. This is very important information. 5 stars. Cute little air fryer. And I think, actually, my first glance is, I mean, I've never thought of an air fryer as being cute, but it is fairly cute. Only 2 days ago, great portable air fryer, very stylish. I thought that said selfish. And I love glass containers that are so easy to clean, such a game changer, plus they are ready to serve. That is a great sort of selling point of this. But remember, air fryers kind of originated off the theory of halogen ovens, which you can get in charity shops for about £5. And they're like 8-litre capacity. They're glass as well, but their glass here apparently is amazing. We'll come on to that. Because Rangeworthy from West Sussex, who's slightly older, 1 out of 5 stars. Inferior to the US version. Beware. In its product specifications, Ninja does not show cooking temperatures, so there was no way to know before purchasing that the UK model is significantly different. And in my view, inferior to the US model. The US model reaches temperatures up to 235 to 240 C, whereas the UK one tops out at 185 degrees C, which actually in the world of air fryers is a massive difference actually. The irony of it being called a crispy, that's kind of what it promotes. It promotes cooking crispy food, that charring, that heat on there. So we'll have to see. My normally crusty veggie burgers, what a phrase, were pale and flabby, potato waffles gummy, and French fries, just French, done just okay after double the time stated in the manual. Ninja. Full stop. I made my purchasing decision based on all the good reviews in YouTube. So maybe they were US ones. Here's a bad UK version for you, okay? Maybe check that one out if you want Rangeworthy. I don't know the difference because you didn't tell us. How dare you? If you think the US version needs a high heat setting, why don't suppose the UK doesn't? So disappointed. Right, I do want to test all the functionality, starting with a nice simple one called Keep Warm, which hopefully keeps it warm. Yeah, keep warm. Keeping pre-cooked meals warm or warming breads and pastries, so I fancy some brunch. All right, so let's start with the small container. Remember, this is only 1.4 litres, and that is actually quite tiny. Yeah, these are store-bought croissants. That's just about fitting in there. And the crisper tray, if I put that in, these will be hitting the heating element. That is one of my initial concerns already. But hey, they're in there. Let's try and warm them up. All right, so we shove oh, that's amazing. I really like that. It was like a UFO landing on it. All right, so we've got the power on. Remember this chart from a moment ago, 70 degrees heat for keep warm, all the way up to the potential of 200 C. We'll question that in a bit. So the thing I've got here that I don't really like is we've got the 4 modes and you press it and the timer, this is it. You can change it manually, but it doesn't change along with the mode. It's kind of fairly manual, but also kind of rigid. So we are going to do the keep warm setting for about 6 minutes. Hopefully the iconic Ninja sound. Yes. It's not even been a minute yet And that smells gorgeously buttery. Oh my gosh, I'm just really worried about the height there. I can't wait to try it. I think it's quite clever. It knows once it's lifted off it to automatically turn down. So this is where the feet are good. These might be done already, you know. The chocolate is starting to melt. I don't think I'll burn them because of the keep warm mode, but that's the only thing I'm not liking right now. Thanks. It feels quite manual, but at the same time, quite restricted. Like, I know I'm just basically warming up pastries, but there's nothing in here for times for saying how to do that. And of course you've got to guess it a little bit, but it does make me think if you start doing recipes outside of this, that you might actually have to start to learn it and kind of own it. And over time, of course, you'll pick that up, but I don't know, I guess like every appliance is trial and error, right? Oh, it's had 4 minutes in there. I can hold these. That glass will be nice and warm, and it smells like a patisserie. It feels like these have been freshly baked. Actually, a little bit of browning on the croissant there. Well, we better try it. Oh yes, that is warm. Oh my God, I love it. I was not really expecting it to be like really super fluffy, but that has genuinely warmed it. Perhaps the pan au chocolat. You can see, look, the chocolate is melted there, the paste. Yes, don't really want to get that on my hands, but I would say, yeah, it's melted all right. We've started gently with it. It's worked. I do have some concerns based on that crisper tray. And the croissant is quite high, so we did not want it to hit that heating element. That would have been an amazing start. You know what? Even this has still got a little bit of weight, you know. Okay, so it's nearly 1 kilo in weight. If you're carrying that to work in your bag along with the power pod, okay, maybe you just want to reheat a meal, but it was easy to clean and that glass was hot. The only thing is, I'm kind of worried we might use that one more time, but it really isn't much capacity at all. Because our next test, which is going to be the re-crisp one, involves this pepperoni pizza that I cooked first thing this morning. Yeah, because for the pizza, we are going to test the next setting up, re-crisp, which on the temperature scale seems to be a little hotter. Revive leftovers with gentle heat. Best used for dense foods, cheese-topped favorites, or crisping pre-cooked proteins, vegetables, and leftovers such as pizza. Hello, mate. So the problem we've got, this is the small dish that I just washed up with the croissants in, okay? There's curvature on the side, so you've got that flat area. But I think even this pizza, yeah, just a thin slice like that, maybe it'll do it actually. Oh yes, it will. I could probably get 2 in there. That's actually surprised me. Okay, I did not have high hopes for that. Yeah, in you go, mate. And at a push, I could probably get 3 in there, but we'll just stick with that. Okay. Well, actually, in fact, for this one, we could probably get the crisper tray in there, the shelf for the airflow, because that is nowhere near as high as the croissant was. It wants to keep sliding on that tray thing here, but this pizza, as you can see here, I cooked it so the cheese had actually melted, but not that golden color. The pepperoni was warm, the pizza was ready. It was, you know, just about done. But I'm hoping this re-crisp can sort of show an example of browning the cheese, getting that pepperoni to pop. All right, let's get this on here then. And then we're gonna go to keep warm. Actually, the keep warm and the reheat in the manual, there are literally like no instructions or recipes for it, so you've just got to kind of wing it. Let's go, I think I'm gonna go a little lower. I think I'm gonna go to about 5 minutes just in case, because it's a little bit hotter and it's closer to that heating element, so I could have some pizza in a minute. Well, it all seems very happy in there at the moment. I am getting a delicate waft of pizza scent and I can just about see some sort of movement on the surface, but it is quite a narrow area. You can't really get in there and see too much. You've got to kind of trust it. I tell you what, that pepperoni is bubbling away. I need to be quite quick here, hang on. Oh, it's actually doing the second countdown. I think I'm gonna take it off now because look, can you see that? You know, it's browned the cheese. In fact, it's tried to start to incinerate some of it. Oh yes, look, the pepperoni, you can see how warm it is. That actually wanted to slide off then. That's amazing. Oh, blimey. I mean, that is hot, but hopefully you heard the crispness. We did the re-crisp mode and that has made it crispy. That's good. All right, so we tested 2 things so far. I'm fairly happy with it. And now we're going to test out the air fry mode. And it would have been so cliche to have done fries. So we're going to do something from their book that says a sourdough, cheese and chutney toasty. It looks incredible. And it specifies the 1.4 litre tub. Now that bread, I can't really work out exactly how big it is, but I don't think this is going to work for us. Look at this piece of sourdough. If I try and squish that in, oh no, I can't do it. It might be all right, but I don't want to risk it. And we'll see this again. I'm going to use it again. I do like it. So in comes the kahuna, which is not its official name. Oh, hello. Ring the bell, crisper tray there, and this should fit in an absolute charm. Oh yes. Okay, so like any other toasty, it's telling you to put butter side face down. So hopefully that'll give it some nice color. I think I'm gonna do it on the bigger slice here, why not? I've got some slices of Gouda cheese here. Now it does say to use chutney, but I'm a big fan of sweet chili jam. I'm gonna use that because I have to eat this, folks. Sometimes I have things that I'm like, not sure if I wanna eat that, but this, yeah. Salt, pepper, oh my goodness, come on. And just to say, there is definitely enough space to probably fit another one of these in there. I'm just not that hungry. Well, not yet anyway. If it tastes amazing, well, just turn this into a sandwich video. There we go. Oh, so this is it. This is where we get the container adapter, which sits on there. Nice. Like a little air fry trampoline. This should sit on. Oh, yes. So air fry, but it's saying 12 minutes. All right, and around about halfway through, we'll actually take the lid off and flip it over to do the other side. And I think it's actually quite nice now because I can see slightly more what's going on. It is a much bigger vessel. I mean, over double the size with that capacity. All right, 4 minutes in. Oh, see, I want a bit more color than that. I'm gonna keep pushing. Yeah, to me that didn't make sense to do 4 minutes one side, 8 the other. So we'll do 50-50 and hope that that chars a bit more. Maybe the other side is gonna be the one that you wanna look at. So yeah, don't look at that side, just look at this. This bit looks good. All right, okay, 6 minutes, that's looking a little bit better. I'm liking that color there. That is acceptable. Got to make sure I don't burn myself on this glass. There you go, our unbuttered side. Massive difference there. 6 minutes, I should be in toasty heaven. Countdown to toasty. Oh, it smells good. I just got to go with the color that it is. If it's a little bit underdone on this side, we know the other side's all right. Oh my word, you look amazing. Look at that color. That is amazing. Oh, what a crunch that is. Oh my word, look at that. That is incredible. It's all drooping everywhere. I'm actually, oh my gosh, that's so hot. Ah, the jam. I think you just scolded me. I really shouldn't want to eat this right now, but oh my word, that is, I mean, the recipe alone is delicious. That's worked an absolute charm. It was good to try out the adapter there. Like I say, there's cheese and jam everywhere, but it packs a punch. That has got a lovely golden color on there, melted through, fused it together. Let's keep going. This is a portable air fryer, so the next test we are gonna test the portability. This is the small tub again. And this is something I was quite impressed with. So yeah, the small container, but I'm sure you could use the big one. But it gives you like different sections to like vary your meals for like mood prep. Mood prep? Did I just say mood prep? Well, that sort of does work, whatever you're in the mood for, your food prep. So you can make it ahead, refrigerate it, reheat it at work, or just later on in the week. You pick your proteins or plant-based foods, some vegetables, you cook on air fry, it gives you the times, whether it's chicken, beef, whatever, and then also top it with the marinade. And of course, if you wanted to, you could optionally marinate it in here ahead of time. So I think following this is a really good way to test that portability without actually making it that portable. I actually just did this in a bowl off camera to one side. I got some baby potatoes, courgettes, some steak strips. It hasn't told me to do it, but I have put a little bit of oil in there. I just kind of want to help it, but it does base it on the cook time of the meat, whichever meat you're using. So here we go, from that gigantic adapter straight onto the smaller container. That is such a snug fit. Air fry, it says to do it for about 12 minutes, about halfway stage. That should be pretty darn good. And I love this as a theory, the simplicity of that. You could bulk batch loads at like a Sunday night and have your whole week's foods done. And of course, I don't know if this is specific to this actual air fryer. I'm sure you could do it in other ways, put like cling film on top. But that is where this lid, once it's all done and it's cooled down, is gonna take it to that portable town. And I'm kind of on board with it now. I'm starting to like it. But as much as I like it, and I feel like we've had things like this recently before, there was like the smart toaster where there was like the presets, you're forced with it. I don't know like what temperature that is. All I know is it's an air fry mode. It sounds the same. I can just change the times. I can increase it as we go. Like I can do that as we're cooking. But I feel like I'm just missing that control like right now. All right. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, cooking with some air. I'm surprised an air fryer company hasn't tapped Bon Jovi up for that yet. Stir that up, another 6 minutes. Right, I've trusted this. Ooh, hello. Yes. Oh, that looks gorgeous. We've got a lovely crisping on the potatoes. The steak is all cooked through with a nice bit of charring on there, and the courgette softened, some browning. Oh, this is the next step. Yep, what is it now? Column 4, top it as desired. So remember, we could have marinated this if we wished, especially like the chicken if you're using that. Of course, the steak too. It's saying peri-peri sauce, barbecue sauce, duck sauce, buffalo sauce, but I've got a little bit of teriyaki. Oh, ho, ho. I don't want to completely drench it in it, but just just to coat it whilst it's warm. Oh my word. Oh, that looks brilliant. That looks really, really good. I can tell that's gonna taste good, but we're gonna leave it to cool down. Okay, so whilst that's cooled, I've cleaned up a little bit, started to spatchcock a chicken, which we'll come on to now, but look, that lid is on there. And like, I know like meal prep is like quite a bit of a thing at the moment, and people are always asking about doing meal prep videos. I've got to be honest, the amount of food I cook, we don't tend to meal prep. We've just got so much food generally to have. We have to get quite creative with the girls being vegan and veggie, but to have that like that, bung it in the fridge like that, or hang on a sec, just got this random bag for life. There we go, I can take it in my bag for life, and off to work I go. Although, this is my office at the minute, so it's a bit of a short commute, but you get the idea that you could fit that into most bags. In fact, this bag for life is ginormous. It's a quite cool concept, but I say it is just fairly heavy. And if you rocked up to work with this, everyone would be jealous of you, don't get me wrong. It certainly takes stealing someone else's yogurt out of the fridge with their name on it to another level, but then you turn up with this thing as well, and you shove that on, and you're like, all of a sudden air frying your lunch at work. You're gonna be the envy of everyone, but also maybe overthinking it a little bit. But it's a really cool idea. Put that back in the fridge, but I would say that has won me over, but this is what I've been worried about for most of the morning. So the last test is peri-peri chicken using the roast mode. Look at that chicken, that looks gorgeous. It insists on a 1.5 kilo medium chicken, which I bought, that needs to be spatchcocked or halved, and I'm genuinely worried whether that is gonna fit in there. Yep, so we're gonna make this, and I'm gonna rebel. It says to use olive oil. I don't like the idea of using olive oil in an air fryer. Garlic granules, onion granules, chili flakes, oregano, some ground coriander, and the bulk of it, paprika, which, oh yes, I love paprika. Now this should become our sort of pasty thing to go on the chicken, which does not seem very much at all. That picture that they have, I mean, that looks like it's absolutely laced in it, doesn't it? Oh, apologies, I forgot to add the salt. I knew I had the salt there for a reason. Just gonna stand and watch. There we go, a little bit there. All right, getting that spice mix on there. And I was a bit unsure about that, but it has covered it fairly well. I'd probably like maybe a little bit more, maybe next time, but I'm gonna trust it. So this is it, it's been spatchcocked. It could spread out a bit more, but it's gotta go in this container with the crisper tray in there. And that's what I've been worried about. I think we've just gotta try and squidge it in. Yeah, I don't know. I think, oh my gosh, see, I could, like, by spatchcocking it, I can press it down. And this is the size it said to go for. This is bang on 1.5, but I think it's just got to sit where it wants. I've got to wash my hands, and we've got to trust the process. We've got to. I really want to take that crisper tray out to give me a bit more height, but for the airflow, it's telling me to keep it in there. Well, so here we go, adapter on. And actually thinking about it, the adapter does add a little bit of height. Okay, 55 minutes. Oh, lid. It is on, isn't it? Oh, now it is. Well, we're about 25 minutes in and I haven't been able to see the top yet. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's actually, I mean, it looks okay, you know, very charred, but we've still got half an hour to go, and that is what worries me. I can't leave it like that, can I? It'll just burn. Actually, this is an example, is a really good indication about having like the feet on both of these things, how you can put it down safely, which for other air fryers, you kind of have like a bucket like this and then put it down on a trivet because this bit's normally roasting. So will I regret doing this? Ooh. I'm not sure if you can see the back of it there, but that's where I did spatchcock it there to really open it up, and it hasn't had that chance. So I'm just turning it over for that final half an hour to cook the underside and make sure the chicken is ultimately cooked through, because if I leave it the other side, it will just look like a piece of coal. All right, it has just finished. Oh, golden color on that. I am so glad I turned it over. It's just about fitting in there. You can see the difference because we didn't put any of the mix really on the back of it, but I'm so relieved that I turned it over. There we go, look, I have just turned it over. That color is fantastic. It's a bit too hot to show you, but the juices collected at the bottom, there's absolutely loads. So what you could do, like with roasted meats, if you want to let it rest, you could have just put the lid on there like that to just act as covering it in foil, just to let it relax. Yeah, I'm actually quite amazed by that. Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to, we could actually carve the chicken in that. We could take this out temporarily. See what I mean? Some of the oil from our spice mix, of course, but the juices as well. Look at that. It's so convenient. I'm just gonna use this knife that I lifted it out with. We've warmed, we've re-crisped, we've roasted. Here, we've definitely roasted. Look at this. Air fried and meal prepped as well. This looks so tender. Oh my gosh. So do I like it? Do you know what? Out of all the Ninja ones I've ever tested, I mean, the ice cream maker is probably still my favorite. That is awesome. I use it all the time. This is actually pretty cool. I love the air fryers in general. They're quite good. I say for smaller families, you know, much better than heating up a whole oven. But this kind of takes it up another level where you've got those interchangeable containers. If you've got a vegetarian or vegan, you could do fajitas with a big base mix and make a smaller one and then warm your tortillas in even smaller container. It's very, very flexible. The only thing I didn't like is that you didn't know the temperatures it was going to, but I think if in doubt, just air fry it. I'm actually quite impressed with it and would love to know what you think. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time. And in fact, you can see it again. There you go, mate. He loves a bit of chicken, don't you, boy? Loves it. Is that nice? Right, it's your dinner time anyway. Let's go.